Like it. Hello, my beautiful people. I am back, and welcome to Mental Moments. I have to be honest with you guys. I have to be transparent. I was completely triggered when reading Jada's and Will book, and there were certain moments, especially in Will's book, when he discusses all the abuse and the corporal punishment and how he was raised, really triggered me immensely. I have blocked out a lot of my childhood, literally my adolescence, from literally like from birth up until about maybe 12, 13 years old, have been blocked. Like I have little to no memory of those times of my life. And while reading both books, I was doing shadow work as well. So, as a mental health therapist, I've had therapy before. You know, when you're in college and taking psychology, they recommend you take therapy so that way you can get a feel for it, which I have. And I've gone back again afterwards. When I was going through a little struggles in my relationship, I went back to therapy again. But this trigger and these memories were very different. It was very traumatic. It was just it was just glimpse of memory. It wasn't a full picture. A lot of feelings of angst and despair and turmoil came over me. It was pretty extreme. And I just feel like I need to take the opportunity to talk about that and to express that. So I just wanted to chime in to say I did stop reading because I needed to just take a moment to step back because I was severely triggered. Like it really was getting to me. And I just needed a moment to regroup and to process my own emotions and to dive deep into my own shadows and figure out why have I disassociated from a certain part of my life? Why can't I remember? And to be honest, I don't know if I want to, but I at least want to be able to remember the good times, even though I'm getting mostly negative memories. But in any case, I still want to talk about it. I still would like to just share because it could be other folks out there have went through the same thing. Again, me being a Gen Xer, I was definitely raised in a very traumatic upbringing. I've always been fearful of talking about it because I have a big family, as 11 of us. We've discussed amongst ourselves some of the trials and tribulations we've been through, but I've always been too embarrassed and too fearful to discuss it openly on my platform because it has held me back a lot. It has prevented me from things that I've always wanted to do in my life, and because of certain traumas that I've experienced in my upbringing and developing into a teen and just being a young adult, the way I was raised has really made it difficult for me. And I'm just trying to say it as nicely as I possibly can, but has made it very, very difficult for me in my life and my journey. So, yeah, I want to talk about it. And I am going to just do a series of videos discussing some of the memories that I've had. Like I said, it's very spotty, it's very blotchy. I feel like I have developed disassociation, of course, me just diagnosing myself. Um, I do feel like I have attachment issues. I definitely feel like I have disconnected. I definitely feel like, as far as emotional connections with people, I have become emotionally disconnected because of my traumas. I have always been a really loving, caring person, but I've always been able to compartmentalize how much love and how much care and how much kindness I'm willing to release because of a lot of my experiences that I've had, in my young adult life because of the lack of guidance I've gotten as a child, being raised with a lot of unnecessary corporal punishment. And it's had a huge impact on me. And a lot of the programming that I received and everything that was ingrained in me as a child growing up of how I should conduct myself, a lot of it was wrong. And to be able to reprogram your thinking, it was pretty challenging and it didn't. And sometimes some people figure out sooner than later. So I want to talk about that. And there's a lot of us who have experienced that, whether you're a Gen X or a millennial. These experiences are real. Being raised a certain way where you're programmed, certain things are programmed in your mind to be who your parents want you to be, and not all the time it's correct. And sometimes it takes a journey before we really figure it all out and be able to reprogram our thinking. So thank God I was able to reprogram my thinking, but I never really dived deep into the traumas that I did experience and process through it. So that's what I have been doing with my shadow work. I'm going to keep doing it, and as more memories come to surface, I want to discuss it here on my platform. So again, bear with me. Just let me know if you want me to continue the reading. I can continue the reading. I stopped at chapter 4 for both books because again, I was just going through it. It was just all kinds of flashes and memories of my childhood was coming up, and it was beginning to get a little challenging. to continue the reading. So, with that being said, I would love to just dive into just some of the experiences, some of the program we've received, the generational traumas that we've experienced from our parents and then handed down to us. And thank God, I'm glad I didn't pass it down to my children. I'm very, very grateful for that. But nonetheless, I still have these blockage of memories that are slowly creeping to the surface, and I need to talk about it. So, and yeah, thank you for your support. Please subscribe. Please thumbs up. I'm looking forward to releasing my own shadows, and I hope you guys join me for my journey of just telling my story. Again, thank you for your support. Toodles.